Hi guys! In this video, I'll be sharing yet another 7 tips and tricks for Idleon that both new and experienced players might find useful. And as always, if you learned something new, please do leave a like on the video and a comment on what you've actually learned, because I'd really appreciate it. But with all that said, let's go straight to the first tip. I think this one might be unknown to many of you, but it's a good one. So, the way equipment like armor, weapons and tools works is that the previous tier of the equipment is a part of the crafting recipe for the next tier. In this case, when I want to upgrade my catching net, I'll have to go through every previous tier up until the final one, which is the one I want to craft. To make the crafting process a bit easier, Lava has added a return button on the left side of the crafting interface that when pressed will return you to the previous crafting recipe. But the thing is that the button will disappear as soon as you leave the crafting interface. Or does it? The button actually is still there and fully functioning, it's just invisible. By clicking in this area where the button is supposed to be, you will see that it still works. Another quality of life feature that I myself have started using recently, but that have been in the game forever, is to double tap on equipment to equip them instead of dragging. It's really nice for quickly swapping gear on a character, and there's no need to unequip anything. This will simply swap the equipment you already have on, and it works with everything. Armor, weapons, tools, trophies, keychains, everything. Even with food, but there it works a bit differently. Let me show you. If all slots are empty, they will simply fill up from the first slot to the last one in order. But if you want to swap food you already have equipped, you will have to place the food in the corresponding inventory slot, or it won't work. The first inventory slot will always replace the food in the first food slot, and the second inventory slot will always replace the food in the second food slot, and so on. So it's really not too complicated and can save you some time. This NPC that I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of, that can be found on the last map in World 1, has a quest that requires you to bring him a bunch of stamps. The thing with these stamps are that you will have to buy them from the 2 different vendors in World 1. But you will only be able to buy 1 of each stamp every day, which means you will have to wait a minimum of 5 days to complete this quest after getting it. Unless you already have all stamps saved up, of course. You will want to complete this quest sooner or later anyways, so why not just prepare in advance and get it over with. When you reach World 4, you will be able to unlock a fat damage boost in the laboratory called Unadulterated Banking Fury. The way it works is that it gives plus 2% more damage for each unique item in your storage with a quantity of more than 10 million. Having more than 10 million of an item will turn the numbers green, which is why it's referred to as greenstacking an item. My tip for you is to start stocking up on certain items before you reach World 4, so that when you finally unlock the bonus, you'll have plenty of green stacked items in your storage. If you have the coins to spare, try making it your daily routine to buy out all items with a high quantity, and eventually you'll green stack them. In the worship minigame, there's a feature that allows you to 4-start the next wave instantly. This is good if you complete a wave with much time left, or if you know you can handle multiple waves at once. When you 4-start a wave, you also get a small bonus depending on how much time there's left, and it scales with the wave you're on. What you should keep in mind is that you only get the bonus if there's at least 4 seconds left on the timer. So by keeping an eye on the timer and never letting it pass 4 seconds, you will end up with a lot more points in your run. A wave starting 4 seconds earlier will most likely never make a difference on if you will survive or not, but the extra points you receive might help you get further than what you otherwise would have. Using time candy anywhere in the game will not only give AFK time on your current activity, but also item production in the Anvil, worth that amount of time. So if you're planning to use a lot of time candy, remember to also collect the items you're producing in the Anvil, so that they don't go to waste because of a full item stack. And to get the most smithing EXP out of your produced items, remember to also equip all available EXP boosts before collecting. I mean, look at the difference in EXP gain with some boosts equipped. Speaking of boosts, boost foods are important for optimizing your efficiency, no matter activity. But what I want to focus on now are the limited boost foods. because all of these are limited to certain yearly events like Christmas, Easter or Halloween, and that makes them quite valuable. Never equip these skilling foods when doing normal skilling. These should be saved for when you want to take samples for the 3D printer in World 3. Those were all the tips and tricks I had for you this time. So I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in another video.